maybe the children who are 7 and older have quite a grasp of what's going on. You speak to some of those kids and they'll say things like, you know, say, do you understand what's happening? They'll say, yes, we have to leave our home for a little while. Putin is a bad man. They kind of understand a certain amount of things. And there's other kids who are much younger, and the parents, the mums will say to them, we're going on an adventure, we're just going to go away for a little while and we'll be home soon. And they try to explain it to them. But, you know, the trauma we have to remember that these children have been through, you know, at the end of the day, you know, while they might come over the border and physically they look like they're well, we still don't know the long-term psychological impact of that. And the UN has spoken about that. That is something that is going to take a little bit of time to reveal itself. All of these children left places where there were bombs and shelling and a lot of loud noises. And so even when they hear loud noises now in the refugee camps, they're sort of jolting because, of course, they're frightened.
Yeah, and you witnessed as well, like the kindness and generosity and the welcome for the Ukrainians by the Polish people as well, and the queues of food trucks you're saying as well, and people even out their prams.
Yeah.
It's just...
It is. It's and you know what, Una, in the darkest of times, isn't it lovely to see that, isn't it? And even we see it ourselves here at home, that people are pledging spare rooms and they're wanting to help people. And, you know, the Polish authorities and the people of Poland have just been so remarkable. And, you know, to see people coming to the border and they're holding up signs saying, I can drive 3 people to Krakow, I can drive 8 people to Warsaw, you can come and stay with me. Like, that level of kindness has been absolutely remarkable. Yeah. There was one man who drove all the way from Holland to be there to bring a food truck to, like, cook meals for people. He was able to feed 40,000 people, and he just decided to leave his home and drive there, and it was really incredible. I mean, other standout kind of things that you saw along the way were just, like, again, mentioning the children, sort of speaking to 2 girls who were 14, one girl called Mila and another girl called Anna. And, you know, for Anna, for example, Anna had never been outside Ukraine in her whole life. She's only 14. She'd never been on holidays anywhere else. They didn't have any connections outside of Ukraine. And I think that's important for people to realise, is that in the first week, people who would have left, a lot of them would have had, luckily, friends and family who would have collected them at the border and who would have brought them home and given them a place to stay. What you're now seeing as this crisis unfolds is people who don't actually have those connections outside of Ukraine, and that's sort of a major problem because they don't have somebody to meet them when they come over the border. So, you know, Anna was speaking to us, Joni, my camera crew, and I were chatting to Anna on Saturday night at a temporary refugee camp, and I was saying to her, so you can just see Joni there, actually that's at one of the camps. That camp, actually, where that photo was taken, it was a shopping centre that was turned into a temporary camp. So if you can imagine your local shopping centre, you know, walking through camp beds the whole way through. And actually something that we don't talk about, and I think about it a lot since I came home, is that you get to the camp, you have your small children, you're really tired, you've travelled a long distance and you're trying to rest, but these types of fluorescent lights are shining all the time. So you imagine trying to put your kids to sleep in that situation, and there's little blankets over their eyes and they're trying to, you know, rest, but like it's really difficult under those circumstances.
And it also must be very difficult as well, Zara, like, as a journalist, for you have to remain impartial and all that. It must be very difficult when you're witnessing all this firsthand like that.
Of course, it is, and I think there's a huge responsibility for us, for Joni and I as correspondents and as crews, to, you know, give people time and space to tell their stories and not to be getting upset into somebody's face, because they don't need me to get upset. And, you know, but we did get upset, and we definitely had moments, and I don't mind saying that. We did that privately because that was important, you know, give people space to speak and tell their stories. And, you know, some people really wanted to talk and other people didn't. Other people just didn't want to speak because they were just far too upset.